My name is Lisa Napoli, and I'm a journalist and the author of a new book called Radio Shangrila. So this is a pretty typical looking monastery or temple from Bhutan. You would see this almost anywhere you would go in Bhutan. There's the white rammed earth walls. There's that band of burgundy across it with those two bright dots alongside, embedded in it. And then on top you always have a gold roof. So that's how you know it's a monastery as opposed to a house in Bhutan. So this, by contrast, is just the exterior of the hospital in Bhutan, but that's a typical house or structure in Bhutan. Almost anything you'd see would look something like this. That is, it's called a Chorten or a stupa, and that's a religious structure too. This is on the grounds of the National Memorial Chorten, and these, as you can see, are 5 prayer wheels, and this is very typically Bhutanese. This happens to be a little apartment structure, but if it was a private house, it would look very, very much the same. This is a very important structure. It's kind of like the version of the U.S. Capitol, because it houses the monastic body and the governmental body for the district, and in this case, since we're in the capital city of Thimphu, it has an even more special significance. All of a sudden now we're in Texas, and this is some student housing at the University of Texas, El Paso, and you can see it's not exactly a replica of what we've been looking at in Bhutan, but it's evocative of it, and that was entirely the point. So this was completely built with the Zong of Bhutan in mind. This is an administration building, the administration building at UTEP, and you can see it's just a grand structure with the sloping red roofs and the little turrets on top, and it doesn't look exactly like Bhutan, but it certainly doesn't look like a typically American structure. And then you see the setback windows. That was done in the Zongs originally for protection, so you could look out the window without sticking your head out, see if any adversaries were coming. This is a parking structure at UTEP, and I love that they were so serious about carrying on the theme that even the parking structure was built in the style of Bhutanese architecture. And the really funny thing is that there is no parking structure in all of Bhutan. So the idea that there's a parking structure in El Paso, Texas that is so unique, there's nothing like it anywhere in the world. This is a Chorten. This is a little baby version of that bigger thing we saw in the center of Thimphu, where people were walking around it. They're so serious about their Bhutanese architecture at the University of Texas, El Paso, that even the ATM machines are housed in little huts that look similar to the Bhutanese architecture. Now that's a Buddhist tongdrol, which is an enormous scroll, at least 20 feet tall, and it's hand embroidered. It can take a year to make this, and this is hanging in the student center at UTEP. It's going beyond the architecture to where there are more and more artifacts from Bhutan on the campus. You don't have to go to Bhutan, you can just go to El Paso and see a lot of what you would see if you went all the way halfway around the world.